Alright, welcome back to the Banner Saga 3. I'm very eager to resume the saga with you. I want to jam it with you, as Bob Marley put it. Let us resume. We're jamming. We're not really jamming in the sense that jamming conveys, happiness. Whereas nothing is particularly happy in the Banner Saga 3, as the world is being destroyed or gradually consumed by darkness or devoured by a world serpent and so forth. The least we can do is enjoy the process, like all of the productivity gurus say, right? We can enjoy the process of fighting. It's craving for the outcome. It's attachment, as the Buddhists say, that causes the problem. But anyway, I'm starting to speak in gibberish, and that's never a good sign. That's a sign that we need to get on to the combat. Or talking to Spar, as the case may be. Spar sits on the rubble of a ruin, watching Ivan move vast slabs. He fidgets with an ornate mead horn.
Good a time as any to give you this while. I noticed you've got no drinking horn, and that's no way to live.
I don't care to drink from a yox horn, old man.
Nay. Does this look like a sodding yox horn? It's carved from the tusk of a gold boar. Shines, even in full black. Okay, so I've never really seen a gold boar, but I did steal it a long time ago from a very rich man, and he seemed pretty convinced. Folka stabbed me with her eyes when I told her I was giving it to you.
What made you think of this now?
Oh, I don't know. Been down a lot of roads. Got a feeling that I might not see the end of this one. And I don't want to imagine Ditch using it for some disgusting thing after I'm dead.
Why give it to me?
Tradition, wow. These young folk don't know respect, and they don't remember a time when it was right to honor a guest. I don't care what any of them say. You're doing a fine job. Look here, that's history carved there, before banners and tapestries. See the little armies.
The tusk does seem to shimmer on its own. Carved figures look almost like they move as you roll it in your hands.
I can't keep this.
Take it. It's not getting me laid anymore, not like this lang spill anyway.
He smiles, pleased with himself.
You don't seem too upset about facing death.
Upset about dying? Well, I'm more upset about living. Do you know what it's like taking a piss 3 times a night but only waking up twice? No, death sounds fine. It sounds fine. But I'll tell you what, I'll miss my life. The secret for us poor bastards with short lifespans, it's love. Sounds like a bunch of rot, I know, but if you don't love life, it'll make you miserable. Learn that from a lady friend.
He smiles, pleased with himself.
Where did you learn to play?
What do you mean? Who taught me? Nay, nobody taught me. It was a festival, biggest of the year. By all rights too young to hold my drink, sipping from every unwatched cup I could find. There's a spat happening. One guy built like a bear, howling at another man over his girl, or I don't remember. It doesn't matter. This other poor bastard, he's a mouse. You ever seen one of these guys? Thin beard, wide eyes, ready to run? The brute comes at him with a knife, pulled right out of his dinner. The mouse is soiling himself, climbing over tables to get away. Everyone's loving it. Even the musicians stop to watch. I'm off my head drunk, and I'm thinking, by the God, this needs a good song. So I grab the instrument and go wild, sawing and screaming. The thing just sings in my hand. At least, in my head, it's a masterpiece. It must have sounded like a boiled cat. The mountain of a man, he slowly looks over at me with the most complete confusion I've ever seen. And I just remember. The next moment, there's a knife in his neck. The mouse got him. Even drunk as I was, I knew it was because of me. I've been playing ever since. Frankly, it's a damn tragedy wasting my talents on these ungrateful monsters.
He smiles, pleased with himself.
I better go and check with Juno. You stand over there, Spar.
Aye, you better. If these two don't find this passage soon, Bo will gaffain us right in our puckered arses.
Yeah. As I said, go stand over there, Spar. Meanwhile, need our space. Thanks for the horn. I'll make sure nobody does anything disgusting with it. And I'd wager that's much less likely now that you don't have it anymore. You disgusting old man.
And enjoy it too. It's not a bloody decoration.
I don't want to know what you mean by that, Spar.
It's a gift from the God-blessed ravens.
Alright, well, that was a fun dialogue from our comic relief member there, Spar. Do we have the opportunity to rest here? I don't think that we need to in any event. Yeah, let's look at the hero situation. We may be able to do a little bit of leveling up, which sounds nice. 75, okay, who can level up? Who can attain legendary status? Oh, Ali is injured. Okay, well it appears that we're going to need to substitute somebody in for him. And no, it's not going to be Spar. For anybody who would like to see Spar fight, it's really not very impressive. So you just put that out of your pretty little heads. Okay, Folka. I am not as fond of Folka as a character as I am of Ali. I guess Ali has the ability to shield wall, and you would think that Olka with her large shield, or Folka rather, would be able to create a shield wall, but she isn't, although she does have some other protection-related abilities that can help her friends. Mogan is someone else who can shield wall, but he's not eligible for promotion. He's only level 8. Bach is essentially an inferior version of Folka. All of these Warl here, they don't have that ability, and I'm really into this forming a shield wall. I think that really has saved my bacon on occasion. Alfred is also injured. Okay. Then maybe what we want, well, we can't promote Ivan. We can promote that old Jackal Spar. I'm not so into doing that. Okay, well, Folka level 10 is going to be pretty formidable. That's 21. I'm going to do it. Okay, I'll give her one more willpower. Give her one more of these.
I see one of those once.
Strong Bad would say. I'm not really that worried about Alfred being down 1 strength. I think I could still bring her into battle. I think she's so essential. The ability to heal strength damage, I mean, that's something that no other character has, and she can do it pretty well. And she also perpetually gains willpower. She gains 1 will every turn, and that enables her to do a lot of great heals, which is more than I can say for... I mean, Ivan has impressive abilities in terms of his lightning strike and so on, and he can also repair armor from anywhere on the battlefield. But the ability to heal strength, I mean, since the enemies are always trying to do strength and spend as much willpower as they can to do strength damage, even if our armor is high, just to try to make our lives difficult, I think Alfred is probably the better bet. Apparently, Folka can also go up to 11th level. These go to 11, which costs us a mere 10 renown. And then we pick a heroic title. Let's see. She also, I want her to get something that is protection related. As much as I love all these killing related ones. Okay. Adjacent allies, and that would stack with her ability to help adjacent allies to begin with. +1 to strength attacks. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And she has a couple more points. She will increase her Titan strap, so she can regenerate armor every turn. Robust as well. Make her very resistant to damage. And make her help allies that are near her. So she, even though she cannot shield wall, she can get some sort of shield wall-like benefit or some kind of benefit to her adjacent allies. So I think this is the group that we're going to go into battle with. And make no mistake, folks, we are going into battle. Pardon me. Pardon, monsieur. We have a level 13 item, this gold boar tusk that we just got from Spar. It was the first valuable contribution that Spar made to our sojourn here. This drinking horn shimmers even in complete darkness, okay? 80% maximum chance to hit. Okay, is that a penalty that this inflicts? Or is that a penalty that is inflicted on enemies? +3 strength attack, +3 break. Yeah, I don't know how into this item I am. It seems, I mean, particularly because I'm not a very good die roller. I tend to make bad die rolls. Thankfully, this game doesn't require that much dice rolling. Except when Castaway is attacking with his sling. Then he has, and Ollie, they both have a high chance to do critical hits, which is why, yeah, and even without the critical upgrades that I've given them, which are just make them nightmares for the enemy. But in any event, I think that we're good to go for now. Perhaps it's a little bit troublesome that there's a 13th level artifact and I don't have anybody who's 13th level or even 12th. Does that mean that I have been slacking in terms of my progress? I think it's probably just because I haven't. I've been trying to distribute my promotions fairly equally among all of the characters that I tend to use. That is, I've been spending a roughly equal amount of renown on all of the characters as opposed to trying to build one of them up to 13th or 14th level. And I think that in the long run is the right strategy. I mean, I'm kind of a wily veteran at this point of the Banner Saga games, and that strategy has worked well for me in the past. With that, we will grimly trudge on toward the tower, which I'm sure conceals an unpleasant surprise. And there's our friend the World Serpent. Oh dear, it's massive.
I thought you'd be helping Ivan.
I had to check on something. Look to the horizon. The serpent writhes in the distance. It knows we're here, but won't approach. Hopefully.
Is it scared of you?
Scared? I don't think it understands such things. For now, it is just trying to discover what we will do next.
I know the feeling.
These horn towers are portals the Menders built long ago. They allow us to enter the inner earth, the Dredge home.
I knew the Dredge came from below, but inner earth? Like caverns?
No, not at all. Imagine another world with sun and sky like our own, but within our own. This will be a dangerous path, but the quickest route to the place where Ivan will undo all of this.
Juno sees the skepticism on your face without looking.
I also came here to speak with you privately. I know Ivan may seem unusual or unapproachable, but he is a good person.
You seem an unlikely pair.
I can see why you'd think that. The fact is, I saved him and he saved me. He is kind and devoted.
There's a smile on her face, and you realize that it may be the first you've seen.
I don't know how to talk about it without sounding like an infatuated girl. I truly love him. I know it won't excuse things to say that the Walker lead different lives, hard in their own way. But don't we all deserve to be loved by those who would do anything for us?
You have to admit it's hard to know what I should believe.
It is not lost on me. When you asked to come with us, I was uncertain. I didn't want to take you away from loved ones. But I'm glad to have you here. I consider you a friend, one of the few Ivan and I have left. I will do what needs to be done to fix all this, no matter what the cost. And I've decided that no matter what happens, I will not influence you again. I promise you that. Trust is important.
A whistle reaches you in the wind. You leave the churning coils of the serpent on the horizon and return to where the others have already entered the tower. Let us hope that Juno holds true to her word. Oh my goodness, that is quite the passage into the earth below, or whatever it was that she called it. You join the others already waiting in an enormous chamber beneath the tower.
So what do you expect to happen next?
Spar sputters. Ivan steps to the ledge.
We jump.
Heavy footsteps echo off high walls, and a dreadful outline stands in the doorway.
Well done, witch, says Bulwark. Made a fool of me again.
Even from here you can tell he's shaking with rage. Iwan screams for everyone to jump, but there is only hesitation. Folka turns and walks to Bulwark. The caravan watches Folka with rapt anticipation.
I doubt we'll get another chance to talk, Bulwark, so I had to know. Is there anything left of you in there?
I never left, Folka. You left.
We thought it was what you wanted. I thought I was following orders.
What's done is done.
Yeah, that does sound like you.
You get as close as you dare. The two barely acknowledge your presence.
Go on, Folka. Get out of here.
What if the Walka can undo this, Bulwark? What if they really can? It doesn't have to end like this, you stubborn dolt.
They lied to you, Folka. They're lying still.
Bulwark points his axe at the Welka, and static flickers across Iwan's shaking hands.
Those two took our reputations. They took our freedom. They took my life. They did all of this. Even if they can save this world, I won't allow it.
Are you kidding me? Life's not fair. Is that your argument? Even when I was 8 years old, I never gave you such sniveling drivel. Don't destroy everything we made to save your pride. The ravens need you. So do I.
You feel the slightest shift in Bulwark's demeanor, but in a blink it's gone.
Jump down the rabbit hole, Folka. I won't stop coming until every one of you is dead.
That's all you've got for me? Me?
Folka snatches Bulwark's axe from her belt, the one he threw near Strand, and pushes it into his hand.
If this is just revenge, why wait?
Okay, Folka. Well, your gut's been right before.
I've always liked you, Folka. That's why I gave you a chance to run.
Things are suddenly moving too quickly to react. Okay. Her gut turned out not to be right. Without hesitation, Bulwark buries the axe blade deep into Folka's neck, and she falls in a bloody heap. Your face narrowly escapes Bulwark's second axe blade as you stumble backwards. His screaming rage fills the room until a peal of thunder drowns it out. Lightning arcs from Iwan's staff, scorching the ground around you in wild patterns, catching Bulwark's full cloak on fire. Ravens reluctantly leap into the pit, and you follow, tumbling down into the darkness as the light from the hole above recedes. A roar rings in your ears like the bellow of a sunder. Bulwark leans over the edge, his face wreathed in flames from the smoldering cloak. It's the last thing you see before everything goes black. Bad ending. Which is a reference, of course, to Streets of Rage, the classic Sega Genesis video game. Alright, so apparently I made some incorrect choices, and it turned out that Folka was too consumed by her ill-conceived nostalgia for her relationship with Bulwark. As it turned out, Bulwark was too consumed by rage to remember that relationship and the affection he once had for Folka, and decided to kill her. Sometimes you awake more tired than when you fell asleep. This is one of those times. Well, I had one of those times this morning, too. I can relate to Rook's situation here. Alio is silently sitting bedside.
Alio, were you watching me sleep? What? No, yes. I mean, Oddleif sent me to get you. Wasn't sure whether to shake you awake or let you, What's happening? Nothing good. Rook is free. He's creating problems out by the gates. Oddleif's trying to talk some sense to them now. How did Ruga get free? While we were busy fighting asunder and saving the city, his men broke into the prison, killed some of Petrus's guards too. Are you kidding me? I wish I were. I hate to say it, but we should bring as many clansmen as we can find. It could be a grave mistake to leave them behind. I'm a poet, and I knew that I was a poet. I am a poet. You don't think they'll be safer here? I don't think we'll be safe without them.
Okay. Alright, well, let's... Alright, so we have the opportunity to look at our heroes, we can rest, or we can go to the gate, which presumably leads to another battle. What's the situation as far as our heroes go? We undoubtedly can do some promotions. Okay, so the renown is not shared between the two parties. That's very interesting, and I have the opportunity to raise a couple of these people to legendary status for a mere 10 renown each, an opportunity that I will gladly take. So our horseborn Teulu is no longer with the party. Skathak? Oh no, he is in the party. My mistake. Alright, so who are we missing then? We don't have Hakon. What are Ubin's abilities? He is a scrivener. But he does have the Tempest ability. Standing next to an ally, okay. He improves the strength damage dealt by both himself and his ally by 1. That is powerful, this stronger together ability. Reveal weakness. He points out a target and explains where to hit it to maximize damage. It was like his wisdom comes into play, okay, and Tempest as well. Ubin is a strong character. And he already has some points that we can devote to his various skills, so let's do so. I'll give him a point of hunger down. We'll give him a point of robust. And we'll, let's see. We'll give him a chance to avoid armor attacks. We're sort of going for a tank approach with him, although he has pretty high strength. Okay, Mogre cannot be leveled up at the moment. If this is the situation here, we've got, yeah, 2 of these missile people. Petrus, does he have the ability to shield wall? He does. That's right, he's like a hybrid of the backbiter and the thrasher. Petrus seems like an excellent character, who I'm going to include in the party, I believe. Gunnulf is just too vulnerable to attack. I mean, he has very high strength, but his armor is poor. Ubin is another possibility, although I really like the, and his stronger together ability is, resembles the shield wall to some degree. Petrus can be brought up to legendary status, which also influences my decision to put him into the party. So now we have 2 guys who can shield wall. And that, if we just need to move forward in a group, and plus the, well-nigh invincibility of Mogre, is very tempting to me. I can, for a mere 10 renown, I can promote Aegil to legendary status. Obviously, because Aegil specializes in not taking damage, I'm going to get a skill that relates to that ability. Let's see here. Last standing. Yep, that just increases armor. And it doesn't look like it's contingent upon being the last standing. Okay, and he's still got 2 points to distribute. Okay, I'll give him one of these. I'll give him a point of robust. Confirm that. And he's now level 11. And we still have 79 renown. Canary, I think, is definitely worth promoting her. I mean, it's so cheap to do this, to bring them up to level 11. We can give her a strength 16. I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous. Give her another point of armor break. Give her legendary status. Okay, and she does like a point of damage on the following turn if she hits with this bloodletter ability. I would love to increase her critical chance, if that's a possibility. I don't want to decrease her armor. Will resist. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Her movement is so good we don't need this the wolf ability particularly. Okay, so we've been through all of it. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this one more time. I think I'm gonna make her a bloodletter. She can also be promoted because she excels at scoring kills. Do we have anyone else who can assume legendary status? Rook can. Well, that's a no-brainer. And he's got the 3 critical chance already. And he's maxed out in all of his stats. Give him another point of hunger down. He's going to resist armor damage, even though his armor, even at maximum, is not that great. What else can we do here? Yeah, okay, the ability to cause puncture. Hopefully that stacks with his pre-existing puncture ability as an archer. The idea of gaining a will point on every kill. That sounds good. Although this group is almost never lacking for willpower. +1 movement. I'm not sure I particularly care about that. Damage on consecutive attack to same enemy. Okay. Let's see here. What do we want here? No adjacent allies. I don't think Rook is. Yeah, I don't think he's better off with no adjacent allies. Yeah. Is he the bloodletter? Oh no, oh I see. Okay, the titles that are already taken can't be used again. Alright, well we'll make him Death's Messenger then. You squint in the sunlight outside the cool shade of your tent, and a smell reminds you of the small farmhouses you once lived in near Scar. The field is full of horseborn, a lot more than were there before. Ubin stands in their midst, the shepherd of a confused flock. He's chatting with Gunnulf, catching up on lost time. Ubin spots you and waves, beckoning you to join them.
These horseborn lost a lot of traders at once.
He tells you about the new arrivals.
Or leaders, I'm sorry. We haven't found a lot of sympathy here in Arberrang, despite helping defeat Ruin. Hate to crowd your camp, but what would you think about taking them under your wing?
Are you sure they want that?
We won't know until we ask,
Ubin replies.
In times like these, I believe it's better to have too many friends than too few.
I'll have a horseborn speak to them. Several of the horseborn have traveled with their carabai nearby. Considering Canary's troubled past, do you think it would be best to leave her out of this? Okay, I'm going to ask Roek to speak. Roek raises his head as you approach. Do you know any of these horseborn who arrived with Ubin? You ask. Ubin translates, chuckling.
He asks if you know all of the men in Arberrang.
Roek agrees to ask regardless. You can't make out the words, but Roek talks with the warrior's confidence, holding their attention. A conversation emerges. By the end, he turns to you and says, "Some join." But for fighters, that's going to consume more supplies, so hopefully we get the opportunity to buy supplies. And the supplies don't remain at 0 because starvation would not be so great for our morale. What kind of trouble got stirred up that we need the whole clan? The kind that turns into an angry mob? My least favorite kind of mob. I love happy mobs, though. They surround me with happiness. They suffuse me with happiness. Why don't you leave the poetics to the poets? Through still gaping holes in the splintered walls, you glimpse the dredge indolently lurking. Bleary-eyed workers do their best to fill the cracks. The foreman spies you at the head of the caravan. Got you fighters with strong arms? God knows we could use them and they'll be well fed. We could give them a token number of volunteer fighters. Okay. Well, since I just took on some more fighters, and that may have been ill-advised as a result of my lack of supplies, so I think I'm going to give them more fighters. The foreman prowls through your caravan, browbeating anyone healthy enough to shoulder timber. Not all who join show enthusiasm, weary as the Sunders' assault left them, but the cause is worthy. Alright. Yeah, I think that's acceptable. Fewer mouths to feed. Hopefully they have a way to feed those people on the walls. Of Arberrang. So many survivors occupy the dirt among the common paths, they begin to blend together. A young girl conquers her shyness and comes begging for food at your feet. Others are inspired to do the same. You already know that supplies are scarce, but it would be a lie to say you have nothing. You know that if you start giving away your meager portions now, they won't stretch very far. You consider what to tell the growing crowd of open hands. Promise to do what we can when we have time. You're not sure why you said it. Even you don't quite believe yourself. The others certainly don't, going by the quiet judgment on their faces. Oh, I thought there was going to be a fight. Well, you know, if the world doesn't end at all, maybe we will come back and help these people. It's going to put me in a pretty good mood. If we're actually able to stop the world serpent from devouring the world, or, you know, the several other reasons that are causing the world to be destroyed to cease existing. Dredge killer! Shouts a woman as you approach. Contrary to what sounds at first like an angry mob, the opposite occurs. There we go, a thankful mob. Yeah, that's right, because I'm doing all your dirty work out here while the rest of you are fighting among themselves. I actually went out there and slew Ruin. Thankful survivors crowd around, asking questions that you can't answer. What if Dredge attack again? What about the darkness? What do we do now?
Hold out hope. I personally know the Walga are well on their way to fixing this.
Many of the survivors have no banner left to claim, but cheer their fealty to you and follow toward the gate. After your rousing speech, you don't dare send them away. Okay, I just got more clansmen. I hope these people know a way to find food. Because I don't.
At least they seem to be making some progress on the walls.
Although that seems to be a little nice when we don't have to be responsible for absolutely everything. And just then another Sunder shows up. After dealing with that Sunder, they finally pitched in once they realized you're not going anywhere.
I did deal with that Sunder, didn't I? I corrected her.
I don't know why, but I find myself instinctively worrying about Alette as I approach the gates, even though I know she's gone.
That's interesting.
Despite everything else going on, it's still mankind that worries me the most.
A growing crowd is gathering at the gates. It is easy to tell the curious bystander from the hardened, darkened faces of Ruga's loyalists, but there are plenty of different colors being flown here. The Warl are also nearby, looking uncomfortable. As you step forward, the disgruntled murmur of the crowd turns into the squeaking of rats skittering into hiding holes. Ruga, as always, wears the satisfied smile of a man who drowned his own humility in bottomless ambition long ago. Ah, our savior has joined us. Maybe now we can hear some sense. I'm tired of listening to your bitch yap. You'd prefer it to my bite. That's why a vicious dog should be muzzled.
Disrespect odd life again and see what happens.
Enough of this sparring. I wouldn't want to distract from the issue at hand. As usual, I only want to protect our people, but Oddlife hears what she pleases.
You only want to condemn. It starts with the Dredge. How long before you convince them that we're the next enemy?
What do you mean starts with the Dredge?
She would throw away all of our sacrifice to let them walk through the gates.
Just as there are vile here, Horsebarn. Many of those outside the gates are women and children too. We've known this.
Be that as it may, tell me why I just lost good while fighting them for hundreds of years.
When our leaders tell us to fight, we fight. The Dredge are no different. Bellower is gone. Eyeless and Ruin are gone. Are the rest beating down our doors, crying for blood? No, they cry out for mercy. All I'm suggesting is that we don't leave them to suffer in the darkness. We can find a way. Before he died, our king said everyone lives. Who is Ruga to disagree? He is no king.
Oddlife is right. There is no king here. Look at the faces around you. Some who just lost children trampled beneath bloody Dredge hooves. Shall we invite the Dredge in for another go?
I don't see how any of this matters. When the darkness covers us, we'll all be the same sort of dead. But all things being equal, I'll shed no tears for the Dredge now.
Here's some common sense. And what does our heroic Sunderslayer believe? Speak up, we've all been waiting for your wisdom.
We should not be listening to criminals who cowered in chains while we died on the battlefield.
Keep telling your fellow men that they're led by criminals and traitors, and see how well it plays. Ruga appeals to the crowd now, speaking loudly. Friends, shall we fling the gates open wide to the murderous Dredge, embrace their hammers and stones? Should I let this hysterical woman endanger your families, your kin, for murderous stinking slag? Angry shouts erupt in response. Fury fills the faces of those closing in. Ruga's faithful draw steel. As do I. There's no way that Ruga's up to any good. As much as I dislike the Dredge, my sense about the Dredge is that they're effectively a kind of hive mind. They need to be commended by their sunder, and otherwise they just kind of aimlessly mill around. And when the darkness approaches, they will die, or actually they will suffer a fate worse than death in the sense that they will become mutated creatures with tentacles in their faces and so forth. And, you know, there's no reason to unnecessarily allow that. So, there's going to be a scrum. Isn't there always? And Hakon is back in the party. Okay, so I'm definitely bringing him back in. And Hakon also has the opportunity to obtain legendary status, which he will. My goodness. Oh, will he? Let's see. Okay, let's bring him up to 3 hunger down. Let's bring him up to 3 robust. That sounds great. And the titles, there aren't that many remaining, actually. Perhaps he gains will. Okay. Yeah, what about giving a +1 movement to a Varl? That actually sounds like that could be advantageous. And with that minor adjustment, we are ready for battle. This is a formidable force that we have here. I would love it if Mogar were 10th or 11th level, but it can't be helped. I don't think that Ruga is going to be able to stand against us effectively. But we'll see what he's got. He's a crafty SOB, that Ruga. Alright. We've got some elite Thrashers. We have some elite Cragsmen. Spearmen. So Thrashers and Spearmen. Okay. We're certainly going to take our licks, but I don't think, yeah, they're not that much of a serious threat to us. Particularly because they have no missile attacks. So we're going to get a turn if we just wait here. If we set our missile people up correctly, we are going to be able to inflict some damage from the back rank with our missile people who are deadly effective. So let's do that. Let's set up a shield wall that they're going to crash against. Now the question is just where we should put this to make sure that the enemy can't just run around the flank. Although because you only have 6 characters in every battle, it's not that difficult for the enemy to get around the flank in any event. Yeah, Hakon's up to 20 strength. He's ready to do some damage. Okay, and yeah, he'll be protecting Hakon. Actually, Rook's going to be in the back rank. So, alright. Actually, one minor adjustment here to make. Rook's going to be, yeah, part of the shield wall here. And we're effectively going to wait for them to come to us, and they're going to get harried with some nasty missile fire as they do so. Unless it's some sort of timed battle. No, it's not. Okay, good. Alright, how far can this enemy move? Yeah, if he spends a bunch of willpower, he can get up to me. He's got 8 willpower, as you know, it's a pretty significant number. I don't think that we need to move backward. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to give myself 1 level of stone wall. So if this guy's going to come and bloody flail on me, I'm going to be ready to take it. Mogur's going to stay where he is. We want them... There's no reason why we shouldn't force them to come to us in this situation, I think. What you got? Yep, he's going to bloody flail. No, but he did some armor damage. Alright. Now he's going to take a whacking. I'm going to have willpower to spare in this battle, so I can afford to do these massive hits to the enemy. That guy's going to do virtually nothing to me going forward. Yeah, I mean, the usual use of Skathak to harry archers and other sort of weaker troops, that doesn't really exist in this battle. If one of the enemy gets kind of isolated, I think that we're going to use Skathak for that purpose. For now, Skathak is just going to... actually, he's not going to move. He's going to rest. This enemy has to come forward. Hopefully we can hit him with some missile fire. Alright, she's got a lot of bonus willpower. If I moved up there, I would need to use willpower in order to attack these guys. They'd be able to go to have a go at me. So I think what I'm going to do is move back here. And given the massive amount of willpower that I have, I can afford to score the kill. So this is the bad position that the enemy is in. They need to keep coming forward into sort of a meat grinder. If Rook moved up there, he could attack. He would need to expose himself significantly to attack in order to get into the fray. So we're going to continue this strategy. We're going to keep letting them advance into the meat grinder. There are a bunch of them. We won't be able to do damage to all of them necessarily in a timely manner, but I've got some heavy hitters who are perfectly capable of taking them on in melee once they hit our formation. So Aegil is going to stonewall for 1. Okay, they're coming forward. Mogur, oh, he also does poison damage. Okay, he's going to be very interesting. Alright. Okay, so they're taking the right approach, which is to advance as one group so that I can't harry them too much. If I moved forward right now, I could do some significant damage, although they still are not in range to all attack me. I mean, these spearmen have a long range. But I still think the best strategy at this point is to rest. Now he comes forward. He also gets poisoned. That's nasty. Okay, Skathak. Skathak will move over here and get ready to press the attack. Skathak's primary purpose here is going to be to take out the isolated enemies. Okay, he was able to do that attack. She has a good, this target is as good as any here. I might as well inflict poison on him as well. That's nasty. He's going to take 1 per round. Yeah. Okay, as a result of that, the enemy took a bunch of armor damage. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Prey is also going to be good in this kind of situation. Wait, so there's some status effect. Okay, that guy is bleeding. So he's gonna take poison and bleed damage. These guys are not in a good way. If I attack this guy, I believe Canary is gonna hit him as well. In other words, if I mark prey. So I think I will do so. That was a significant amount of armor damage. I gotta hand it to him. Okay, we need to do some armor breakage here. He's gonna be able to hit us. Okay. That's that guy, okay. Mogre is going to smack this guy. He's got plenty of willpower. What can I do? He can battering ram. I think he wants to do strength damage so that they can't hit particularly hard anymore. So I'll hit him for 5. That largely puts him out of the battle. He did a lot of strength damage to Hakon there. Hakon has an opportunity to kill this guy and will do so. Bam. Adjacent guys also take damage. Scoutback can come in and finish this enemy. And he okay, they all still have a significant amount of strength. I may have used the wrong strategy in this battle. Maybe I should have been the one to press the attack. Scoutback might as well give these guys another target. Okay, Mogre took a hit. Okay, she already has 2 targets right in front of her. Alright, she might as well... Yeah, I'm going to use a poison tip javelin on him. That could have been worse. Now both those guys are poisoned. Okay, I'm going to have an opportunity to do another nasty mark prey combination on one of these guys, which I will do. Oh, savagery. Yeah, he got poisoned as well. But Mogre's in a bad way. I think that to the extent that we can do strength damage, we should. No, we're not resting. There's definitely no time to rest. I'm going to spend some willpower to try to reduce this guy's strength. Okay, unfortunately he's probably going to go down. But he can kill this enemy. Oh no, he cannot. Alright, well that guy has 6 armor. So what he needs to do... is break this guy's armor to the extent that he can. He might as well do it for all the marbles because he's probably going down the following turn. Okay. Okay, if Hakon moves up there, he could kill this enemy here. And he will gladly do so. He will damage his friend as well. We lost Roger. Skyvax can score a kill. Say that 5 times fast. Bang. Might as well get to the shield wall. Accomplishing nothing because he attacked Eagle. That's what happens when you attack Eagle. Okay, Canary can do a devastating blow that will be fatal to this guy. Ooh, 7 ring. It's got back for nothing. Okay, I can do a nasty mark prey hit. So I've certainly got the willpower to do it. Ooh, brutality bonus, as they say in Pit Fighter. Well, yeah, maybe if we had charged forward, we wouldn't have lost. Mogre would not have been injured. It's hard to say. Generally, I think we got out of this pretty well. All the enemy spearmen proved to be tricky, although clearly we were the more powerful team. A lull in the fighting, but it looks far from over. If anything, it's just begun. That's what worries you most.
There's no need for this,
you shout. It falls on deaf ears as more and more men are weapons. The wind picks up, tearing at banners that whip above your heads. A growing gale throws men from their feet and bludgeons your sense of balance. A storm funnel approaches, crawling above the gates. Riding it is Zephyr, her platinum hair curiously untouched by the maelstrom. She lands amidst the fighters like a leaf delicately falling from a tree, somehow terrifying in its grace.
Stop this lunacy, she howls. What is this? Put your weapons down!
Even Roga's unflappable demeanor seems subdued in the Valka's presence.
Traitors threatened to open the gates and let loose the dredge. We only meant to stop them. Liar! You are the only real threat here, Roga! Warped creatures reside within the coming darkness, twisted and ferocious. That is the true threat now. I would have come sooner, but I was searching for a solution to protect Arberrang. And I may have found one, if everyone can be civil for a moment. Where are the king's benders? I need them all.
They have done as they please since Meinolf died.
He's dead. There is the last surviving Walker. I am taking control here. I expect the rest of you to put aside your differences while I gather the menders.
What did you mean about warp dredge?
The darkness brings madness, not death. When it covers Arberrang, the warp will be drawn to us like a moth to the flame.
Zephyr rubs her temple in frustration.
You don't need to befriend the dredge. Only make space for them within the walls. When the warped come, they will be relentless. We cannot afford to give them more weapons against us in the coming days.
Zephyr departs, ushered by a rising gust of air, lifts her toward the keep. She leaps in long bounds, like a springing reindeer, out of sight within moments. Roga looks to be at a loss, but only for a moment. How vindicated you must feel. I envy you. But not everyone is so reasonable. Not so easily persuaded as me. Convince them. He raises his voice again over the distressed murmur of the crowd.
Step outside these gates, brave Rook. Ease our minds. The Walka thinks they can be trusted. Walk amongst the dredge, Slayer. Throw down your weapon and prove to us all how harmless they are.
Open the gates.
Roga flinches when you give the order, but hides his surprise quickly. You called his bluff, and now you have to deliver. Slowly, the large doors are pulled open for you. Look, I'm Rook. I've been in worse situations than this. You take a deep breath. As you can see, there's a whole mess of dredge. Someone pushes the scar banner into your hand, and it weighs heavily. Dredge stands shoulder to shoulder beyond the gates. The warbling stops as you approach, and their many yellow eyes turn in your direction like a field of sunflowers. You force your legs to move. The dredge part around you. It feels suffocating, even though they do nothing but watch. Now completely surrounded, you turn around, where equally captivated clansmen stare breathlessly from inside the walls. You reach for your weapon, and the dredge shift nervously in response. Then you drop it to the ground. The air is still, as if itself afraid to breathe. You raise the banner. Dredge follow as you walk back into Arberrang. They follow through the gate. They follow into the courtyard. And then a man shouts. You can see his face clearly, but you don't recognize him, just some guy. It's hard to hear what he's shouting, but it sounds like, "You'll kill us all!" He hurls a spear toward you. Others draw weapons. They raise bows. Everyone reacts at once. You feel pressure across your chest, and touching it, see blood on your hand. You can't breathe. Ooh. Oh.
Dad.
What does that mean? Rook is dead? You scramble, sobbing to where the body lays.
This is my fault,
Repeats in your mind like waves crashing on a shore.
I did this.
Beside Rook lies the banner. You wrap it around him like a sling, pushing his lifeless face from your mind. You drag his body frantically through the squall of battling clansmen as if they weren't there. A sudden blow to the back of the head steals your sight. Dizzy, you're rising, being pulled by your cloak. It's Petrus. His guards are scattered and overrun. The mob bucks like a wild beast. Nearby, a varl brings his shield crashing down on someone's head. Horseborn scream in the distance. The smell of smoke fills the air. Blades lunge at you from different directions, and you emerge bleeding around the corner of an alley.
We need Zephyr.
You cry, pulling at the body still within the banner, though you know it's too late. The violence is spilling out further into the city. Rioters smash down doors, and corpses lay openly in the streets. Some of them are very young.
There's no cure for this,
Petrus grieves.
Arberrang is broken.
Arberrang is broken. Now the strength of your banner will determine how long you can hold out, while Ivor and the Valka push on to their destination. Your choices up to this point, the number of clansmen, fighters, varl, and supplies remaining, buy you days of survival. When your days run out, catastrophe will follow. Use this time wisely.
Okay, well there you have it, folks. My choices up to this point may have led the world to catastrophe, or at least Arberrang. Okay, but I suspect that this is a bad situation that you find yourself in any event. Varl save 22 hours. I think this is sort of totaling up my score. Or totaling up the situation that I'm going to find myself in. I'm not entirely sure I understand what's going on right now. These calculations being made, clansmen and fighters being converted to hours. Arberrang spared for 16 days. Okay, I guess that is based on all of the computations that just occurred. You find Zephyr near the keep, where she's preparing the menders. She turns as you approach.
Captain Petrus, I told everyone to stop fighting. My friend is hurt badly. You have to help. Do something, please.
The stone guard who joined you near the gates has been carrying the body. He leans over to show Zephyr. Bastion is his name. A fine name for a stone god. Zephyr shakes her head.
I'm sorry. Even the Valka should not meddle with the dead. How did it happen? This has been coming since Meinolf died. I regret I could not have come sooner, but many more are about to die. Listen carefully. I devised a shield of light that holds back the darkness, but its reach is limited. With the menders joining their efforts, we may be able to encircle all of Arberrang. It will mean positioning them equally across the walls, and if madmen are running wild in the streets, killing indiscriminately.
I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Oddleaf, I'll have Rook taken somewhere safe, just until we can pay our respects properly. You nod, numb.
How long can you keep this spell of light going, Valka? Assuming the plan works at all, perhaps if we rest in shifts. A number of days. It depends on our food supplies and stopping the warp from slaughtering our menders. They told me you fought off a sunder, no small thing, but that will be nothing compared to what is coming.
What did the Wart even want with Arberrang?
As far as I can tell, only mindless death and destruction. It is why I wanted the Dredge inside the walls. And the other Walka, Juno and Ivan, they can stop all of this. We crossed paths. They continued into the darkness. If they're going where I think they're going, and if they actually make it, there is hope. But none of it matters until we get these men there safely on the walls.
You lead a group of Zephyr's menders toward the gates where the fighting is worst. The darkness is already growing close, throwing soot into the air. You push into the fray to clear space for the menders to do their work. Men fight Dredge, men fight men. The fighting curls around you like wildfire until you are engulfed in it despite your best efforts. One bare-chested, shrieking madman charges at you but is crushed into the dirt by the heavy stone bludgeon of a nearby colossus. The stone guard stares at you, past you. Bloodied men encircle you like vultures, screeching shrill insults. Traitors, raven starters. The stone guard nods some kind of understanding. It seems to recognize you, too. Oh, we get a Dredge in this party, too. Oh, I think it's obvious who's joining us for this. Yeah, this here Scrum. He's a 13th level Dredge. Okay, Mogre is out. Can we put the guard captain in? Yes, we can. That is a very formidable force. It's very unfortunate that Rook died. I'd be interested to see whether that was actually preventable. But in any event, let's see here. We have 50 renown. I wonder. All right, and Bastion can also. He also has points already available. All right, I think he wants some hunger down. He's a stone guard, which means he already has highly superior armor. I think I'm also going to give him robust. I'm going to give him 2 points of that. He's going to be really good at avoiding taking damage. He also gets the chance for a legendary title. Yeah, you know, I like the, let's see. Okay, the Foolish is -1 armor. He has the ability to recover from being KO'd. I think that we will do that. He's going to be even more invincible. We've got 50 renown. Well, we've got a 13th level Dredge in the party. It seems to me... Well, let's see. Do we want someone else who is a missile wielder as opposed to Skathak? Or do we want Skathak in the party? Skathak is still able to kick the enemy away. But it looks like with this force, what we're primarily going to be doing is attacking in melee. And we're going to be hitting hard in melee. There's no question about that. There's no doubt to that effect. What about this drum here? -2 strength attack. I don't really like that. -3 armor. You don't want to subtract armor from the stone guard. That strips him of a significant amount of his usefulness, or at least it sort of contradicts his purpose, which is to be a large walking chunk of armor. Let's see, who else can be promoted? Okay, Skathak can get to legendary level. And he can do so very cheaply, so he will do that. Okay. He has some useful powers. So I will... Yeah, I'll make him a monster killer. I'll give him a point of will. Let's see. Yeah, I think we want him to be able to artery strike. And do some criticals with his flail. That seems potentially great to me. Everybody's at least level 11. Now we have to choose which of these characters is going to be promoted to level 12. Let's see, who will it be? Bastion, although he has extremely high armor, is not a super heavy hitter. At the moment, he does not have something, he does not have an item. Okay. No, this Let's bracelet thing actually is not so bad. I know that I haven't really emphasized armor, or I haven't really emphasized magic items. I've been a lot more focused on trying to promote my characters. So what I think I will do is I will give this amulet to Bastion. And now, who do I want to promote? Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be Hakon. That's 10. Okay, so all promotions past level 10, it appears, only cost 10 renown. That I'm very happy about. %, bonus hit chance. Okay, and that, the bonus hit chance, it looks like that comes into play when the enemy's armor is so high, or your strength is so low, or a combination of those factors to the that you only have a certain percentage chance to do any strength damage at all. The ability to avoid strength attacks and thus to stop the enemies from stripping him of his major advantage, which is his strength. I think that is the sort of thing that he should pursue. We have the ability to create a very significant shield wall, although we mourn our lost Rook. And I think that we will be very tough to overcome in this situation. We're probably going to be facing the same kind of assortment of enemies, like those spearmen and flail, the spearmen and thrashers. Okay, we have menders here. The menders can restore armor. Okay. We've got a backbiter here who's an elite cragsman, effectively a raidsman. All right. We've got a mixture of enemies. Is this an axe thrower? Do any of them have missile weapons? Yeah, this guy's okay. That guy can axe storm, and he may be able to throw axes as his regular attack. Probably because his strength is fairly low. So I'd wager that he is an axe thrower by trade. Is this going to be a wave battle? I suspect that it is, because these enemies are not particularly strong, and so that's the way this game tends to operate, is to make me fight these wave battles with hordes of enemies that are not that strong, so that I'm forced to kill them within a short period of time. Alright, Petrus is going to come up. Yeah, we'll put him. Well, actually, yeah, I'd like him to be on the outskirts. In other words, I'm going to put Skathak over here, and then we have everybody getting the shield wall benefit. I'm going to put Canary back there, because Canary doesn't want to be in the front line. As for these menders, the menders, they can basically restore armor from anywhere on the battlefield. So they are going to want to just stay out of harm's way, is going to be their primary goal. The menders, they want to... Okay, they can't be redeployed. Alright, in that case, then I think that we're ready to proceed. Eagle's going to move, and then we're going to have this backbiter. Alright, that's good. Eagle's going to move up there, and he will use his stone wall to protect him from the backbiter's attacks. He's going to come down and probably do his backbiting attack. Our stone guard. The stone guard, he probably has the kindle and drum fire ability. Right, okay. Alright, he's going to move up. He gets the shield wall, which brings his armor to a whopping 24. and he is going to smack this guy something fierce. He's got very high willpower, so I can afford to spend a point. Yep, he's an axe thrower, but to no avail in this case. Does Hakon want to come up and engage with this guy? Yes, he does. Yeah, of course he should. If I put him down to 3 strength, he's basically out of the battle at this point. Okay, he actually did a fair bit of damage to my friend there. And unfortunately, it was strength damage, primarily. Can Petrus, what are his abilities again? He has a bunch of different abilities. He can bloody flail, he can reinforcement, okay. He would need to spend 2 willpower to get there, but that's not such a big deal. Yeah, I think I want to move up and hit that guy. And I also want to provide the stone wall to hack on. We need to do some armor break damage to this guy, which I think, well, we only need 1. Okay, this is not a timed battle. This is not a wave battle, because we don't see that counter down at the bottom. Scuff back. Surprisingly, is not able to get into combat. In that case, yeah, we want to get the shield wall benefit from our friend Petrus. I could trample the enemy in that direction. Yeah, I think that will kill this enemy, and then he's not going to be able to do any more armor breakage. And then our friends can just join that battle. So if I trample in that direction... Oh, because I would be trampling through my friend. Alright. In that case, I'll end my turn. This archer, I suspect, is not going to be able to do much that's very effective. You want an archery contest with Canary? That's something you can't win, darling. Although, I kind of wish that that had been armor damage as opposed to strength damage, because the menders I have are not capable of healing that. But I have a ton of willpower, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 willpower to lower her strength significantly, so that she can't hit me quite as hard the following round. Alright. Backbiting attack with no effect. Oh, she causes bleed damage now. Oh, because of her bloodletter ability. Alright. This Mender, well, who took armor damage? Looks like, I think that nobody did. He took 1 point of armor damage, it seems. He's only got 2. Okay. Alright, so he's going to conserve his power. That was a significant armor hit. Now the Mender has something to do. He's going to mend... he'll mend for 2. It's very important that the Stone Guard retain his armor. He's going to come hit the Stone Guard too. Not that effectively. Who else has taken armor hits? Only the Stone Guard. They seem intent on attacking him. He's probably the most difficult target to injure. So he will heal our friend the Stone Guard for 1. He's going to come down and attack the Mender, which is a wise thing to do. Yeah. If I move down there, I will still be giving the shield wall to the Bastion, the Stone Guard, and I will be able to do some armor breakage here, which is sorely needed, to his Backbiter. He's going to attack Egil for a significant amount of armor damage. Okay, our friend the Stone Guard can kill this enemy and will. She's gonna shoot at one of the menders. No, she laid a trap. Okay. Probably it's a trap that's gonna interfere with my ability to hit this guy. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Because of my massive strength, I'm gonna do 10 without even any adjustments to this guy. I'm gonna add a point. Smash. Ooh! That's hard to watch. Hakon, welcome back. We're gonna need a little bit of assistance down here. I think that Skathak is gonna be the one to provide that. Up here, I'm gonna give a shield wall to these two. Okay, they still have not been able to kill the Menders, which I like. But Skathak needs to get down there and try to do something about this bloody flailer who's walking around killing Menders. Yeah, I'm gonna pin this guy in place. I think that also caused bleeding. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, what exactly is the effect of pin? Movement is reduced. Okay, so the if the mender can hopefully just get away and not get hit again. He moves over there, and he should also use his mend ability. Who's taken a lot of armor damage? Eagle has taken some. Stone Guard has taken more. Alright, I'm going to heal the Stone Guard. Eagle's armor is low, so there's not enough willpower. Okay, we'll help with that. Eagle's gonna get some mending. Okay, kill one of the menders. I take it that that's yeah. It could be that we have a finite supply of menders, and so that could be potentially catastrophic as these fights go on. How far is he able to move now? He's still able to move fairly far. I don't think he'll be able to kill that guy at one blow, though. Alright, he wants to stay where he is and do some armor breakage. Bam. Right, the Dredge could kill this Backbiter, which I'll be very happy to do. Goodbye. Hakon can kill this archer. Oh, you know, he could also kill this guy. Yeah, they're both very dangerous to the Menders down here. So Hakon, with his additional 1 movement because of his status as the wolf, ooh, will inflict another hard-to-watch hit. Okay, we're gonna spend a little willpower to try to reduce this guy's strength. Wait, no, I guess that's not gonna work. We need to do a lot of armor damage to this guy. So hit him for 5. He's gonna try to kill one of the Menders. No, he's not. He's inexplicably gonna hit the Dredge. I'm not sure I agree with that call. Alright. Okay, this is what I'd like to do. I'm going to use the mule kick ability. And it's going to stun her for a round. So that she's not going to take out one of these menders. Okay. Eagle is always proving incredibly difficult to bring down. And now Canary can finish this archer. She can do it right from where she's standing. You have a little willpower. Okay, Menders. This Mender, I would like to heal Egil. Nobody else is in significant trouble except for Egil, whose strength is now 1. But still, we're going to get to this guy before anybody else can. Well, let's see here. That's the Raid Master. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, we're going to reduce his armor. And then... yeah, we'll bring the Stone Guard in to inflict some pain. Might as well use some willpower. Bang! Hakon... okay, he actually can get there. The cost of only 1 willpower because of his ability, because of his status as the wolf. This is going to be nasty. Oh! Mixed martial arts. I'm not sure why we earned that achievement. But there you have it, folks. Bastion's ready for promotion to level 14. Bastion is going to be quite a bastion of solidity and defensibility. Get those menders up on the walls, Petrus shouts to his guard, and keep everyone else away. The stone guard follows you like a lost puppy, scaring and straggling fighters away from the walls. Petrus's guards escort rattled menders to the top, where they join with other menders, closing the gap. Zephyr vaults from the ground in a gust of air, soaring to meet them. The darkness touches the crackling walls, oozing over the edges. Wicked shapes titter and lurk on the other side, just beyond sight. Menders! Shouts Zephyr. No!